First round of the playoffs with Miramar hosting West LA. Brian Fenley with you. And the Jets, they come in as one of the highest scoring teams in the land at 86 points per game. On the other side, it's the Wildcats, and they have a fast-paced style of their own with 3 players who average in double-figure scoring. So with all of this offense, it could come down to defense. A possession or a stop could make the difference down the stretch. And with that, we will check in with Coach Geller and get his thoughts on the game coming in. Here with Miramar head coach Nick Geller. Nick, back in the postseason. You were here last year, but the prior year you got bounced in the first round. What makes this time around a little bit different and enables you to perhaps go deeper in the playoffs?
Well, I think coming in, having the experience of last year being in the playoffs, this will give us an opportunity to try to, I don't want to say make revenge, but we're definitely a little more seasoned, if you will, this go around. Our freshmen that were here last year, now our sophomores, they've had a little bit of a taste of what it's like to be in the playoffs, and I think this is a great opportunity for them to have maybe a little redemption just for themselves based off of what happened to us last year with the tough loss. So I think we're a little more prepared. We've maybe taken a little bit more serious and a little more educational, and we've broken down some film a little bit differently and approached practice a little different as well.
Also seasoned on offense, you're one of the highest scoring teams in the land right now. How will that match up against this West LA team?
West LA is very good, and their style is very similar to ours, and I'm not so sure that we want to get into a track meet with them, but I think that if we can control our tempo and we can control the pace of the game, I think we'll be in good shape.
On the defensive end, given that both of you love to play that high-tempo style, defensively, what is the emphasis in this game?
We have to slow them down. Again, we can't get into a track meet with them, but we definitely have to slow them down. We have to make sure that our guards are controlling the tempo, and our defensive transition is going to be very key. And if they can get out and break on us, we're going to be in for a long night.
Nick, thank you so much.
Great, thank you.
So that was Coach Geller of Miramar, their head coach. And now we're going to check in with Anthony Jones, the head man for West LA, to get his thoughts on this matchup. Here with West LA head coach Anthony Jones. And Anthony, when you took this job 3 years ago, you had this vision that you would be in the playoffs. You are a man of your word. 3 years, you're in your first time in the playoffs with this team. How can you make some history, though, tonight and succeed and go deeper into the postseason?
Well, I think you have to have the players to do that. So I'm going to leave that up to the players. I coach them, and I coach them hard, and I coach them well, and hopefully they're ready to play tonight. I just hope that we play our style of ball.
What is your style of ball?
Our style is the up-tempo. We like to defend, cuts, defend shots, get up and down, make it a little bit of a fast-paced game, and that's what we like to do.
You're coming off a conference championship for West LA, their first since 2006. You have changed the culture of this program. How were you able to do that? And, of course, that helped with the conference title.
Well, I think the main word is buy-in. I think when I came, like you said, I had a vision 3 years ago, and slowly but surely we chipped away, and now I think the culture is developing.
What do you like about what your team is doing right now and how you match up against this Miramar team that last year was in the postseason, even though they got bounced in the first round?
I like, just talking about our style. I think the guys bought in. I think they love to play that style. Sometimes you get young teams that are resistant to doing some of the things that you want them to do as a coach. This team has responded, and I look to see an exciting game.
Anthony, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Anthony Jones, a total makeover, and it has done so well. Third season, he is in the postseason with a very talented group. First round of the playoffs here from Miramar, as Miramar, a 14th seed, will host West LA, a 19th seed, in the opening round of the playoffs. Brian Fenley with you as we get set for this matchup. West LA coming in with a 4-game winning streak, and they won their conference championship a week ago, which was the first time they won their conference title since 2006. Their coach, Anthony Jones, in his 3rd season with the program, a former college football player at Arizona State, now coaching West LA in basketball and having quite a turnaround for a program that in the past has not reached expectations, but with Jones at the helm, they are vaulting forward into uncharted territory, and they will take on a Miramar team that is making a back-to-back performance in the postseason, but a prior year, back in the 2016-2017 year, they fell in the opening round, and they are coached by Nick Geller in his 9th season with the program, and these two teams did not meet in the regular season. And they will meet for the first time tonight. West LA, a fast-paced offense, taking on another fast-paced offense in Miramar, the Jets. West LA is going to be playing defense against this starting 5, and our lineup for Miramar: Chris Jones, 5'6" guard out of Augusta, Georgia. And then at number 2, Dakota Brown, a local product out of Kearney High School, 6'2". Dallas Hump from St. Augustine here in San Diego. And Caleb Giordano, a freshman, will start at 6'3". And Dion Alston, who leads this team in scoring at 13 points per game.
Cavs come away with it, and it's Conrad. And a flag flies. Should be man-up opportunity coming up here for Virginia. And they're deadly there. Crouch score! We've got a 1-goal game. It's 11-10 with 2:13 to go here in the 3rd.
Yeah, you wonder about the energy level of Cornell, and you wonder if Coach Kerwick wants to take a timeout, kind of let them get a breather, because when you have to play this tempo for 60 minutes, guys are going to start to get tired. You're going to start putting guys in that might not have kind of logged the minutes that you would want them to log before going into a game like this.
First round postseason matchup between Miramar, and they are hosting West LA. The Wildcats, a 19th seed in this tournament. 14th seed for Miramar, who is making back-to-back appearances in the postseason. Anthony Jones, the head coach for West LA, and they are riding a 4-game winning streak. The other day, they beat Canyons 93-79 to pick up their first conference championship, as we mentioned, since 2006. On the other side for Miramar, they are 19-9 overall, 8-3 at home, finishing 2nd place in their conference behind San Bernardino. And this Jets team averages 86 points per game, which is 8th most out of 96 teams in the overall conference, in the landscape. They shoot at 44% from the field, and led by their head coach, Nick Geller, in his 9th season, is also the athletic director for the Jets. And they are coming off a win on February 15th on Wednesday, a 115-78 victory at Miracosta. where the Jets made 13 three-pointers and had 30 assists on 48 made baskets. And talking to both of the coaches, expect high scoring, but from Coach Geller, he said, we don't want to track meet in the sense that we need to play some defense too, and it really could come down to a stop or two late in this game, given how much these teams love to run it up and down the court and get creative in the open floor. West LA has their starters out there, and they will begin with Jamon Beller, the sophomore out of Westchester. Curvins Cadet, sophomore out of Morningside. Prince Obini, the sophomore out of France, who last season was the #1 shot blocker in the conference. Also out there for West LA, Trevor Blackman, who leads his team in scoring. And there's a look at Nick Geller, trying to get into the second round of this postseason, and a date with Citrus, the #3 seed, awaits the winner of this game. That matchup would be on Saturday. And the opening possession will be taken by the Jets. They've got Chris Jones out there at 5'6", and they play it to Caleb Giordano on the attacking move. The ball is up for grabs, and it is recorded a rebound for Jamon Beller at 6'1". Miramar coming into this game 8-3 at home. They shoot it from the field 44%. And for West LA, they are averaging about 79 points per game. Just missing on the postseason a year ago. And a three to begin this game by Trevante Jones, a sophomore out of Washington, D.C. There is the ball screen set by Dion Alston, who leads his team in scoring with Miramar at 13 points per game. Attacking his way inside and weaving around the imposing shot blocker of Prince Obini, who had an 8 rejection game earlier this year and a 7 block game. That 7 block game coming against Long Beach, and on the other way in transition, a bucket inside by Caleb Giordano. A product of Temecula, California, and Great Oak High School, who comes in with 5 out of his last 6 games in double-figure scoring. Blackman rising. Alston had it, and it was pried from behind by Trevante Jones. There'll be a foul, I believe, on Trevante Jones with 18:21 to go in this first half. And this is Chris Jones at 5'6", driving around Cadet. Alston setting up Brown. Brown for 3. Sophomore out of Kearney High School, was a 3-sport star in high school. Scored 17 touchdowns on the football team, also a member of the track and field team. There is a 3, missed in from the wing by West LA and Cadet, and a foul out in front as Chris Jones takes a tumble with 17:47 to go in this first half. Chris Jones handling, just named second team all-conference, picked up by Cadet, launching over him. And the rebound is collared by Curvins Cadet, the best three-point shooter on West LA at 42% from beyond the arc. Jones feeding Obini, and that one won't go. Brown botched it out of play, trying to round up that rebound underneath. So it will be West LA basketball. Coming off a win against Canyons, 93-79. Ballard unable to score. Giordano into the open floor, all the way to the rim as he challenged Trevor Blackman and was able to slalom past him at the cylinder. 7-3 our score. Miramar in front and almost a step through steal, courtesy of Caleb Giordano, who comes in with 5 out of his last 6 games in double-figure scoring. Here is Blackman on the attack, right into Hop and scoring on the drive. Trevor Blackman at 16 points per game, missed the first 8 games of the season with an ankle injury. His first game this season dropped 25. How's that for a season debut? And at the line for Miramar is Dion Alston, who is a 56% shooter from the free throw line. Went to Mount Carmel High School and was just recently named first team all-conference. He and Dakota Brown both making the first team all-conference for the Jets. Also, Dallas Hop was named conference honorable mention, and he is out there for the Jets. Number 3, the sophomore out of St. Augustine. Here goes Eddie Hughes into the ball game, averaging about 6 points per game, and Alston bangs in the 3. Dion Alston, 30% from long range on the season, and is coming off a 17-point performance against Miracosta as Obini was fouled by Alston on the drive. That will actually go on Dallas Hop, number 3, with a 16:01 to go in this first half. They played into Obini, who attacks Alston, and Alston with a nice shot contest inside, and West LA will get another opportunity. They had a 4-game winning streak in November, and that was snapped by San Bernardino Valley in the SBVC Alvin Hunter Classic, falling by 2 points in that game, 65-63. And then the Wildcats opened up December winning 4 of 5, including winning the West LA Tournament Championship, beating Barstow by 2. They had a stretch earlier this year where they played in 3 straight overtime games, won 2 out of 3, and that foul will go on Dion Alston. And at the line is Obini, sophomore from France, leads his team in rebounding and is just a 53% free throw shooter. Also one of the best shot blockers you will find at this level. And there's a rebound for West LA, and it was taken away. Here comes Chris Jones on the attack, kills the dribble and finds Hop. Back out to Jones, a 3, it's good. Chris Jones. He comes in with a lot of confidence on offense. Had a 17-point game the other day against Miracosta. Obini spinning around Alston, and a lead pass out to Jones, getting past his namesake in Travante Jones, and the Jets, soaring here early, have mounted a 20-6 lead with 15-13 to go in this first quarter. Miramar has opened this game shooting 7 of 9 from the field. That is 78%. For West LA, 2 for 8 from the floor, 25%. And the Jets have connected on all 3 of their attempts from long range and lead 18-6 as we come up on the 15-minute mark of this first half. This is Trevante Jones on the handle. Obini out high, watched by Alston with 15 to shoot for West LA. Cadet asking for it out high. And a strong move inside by Jamon Ballard, who coach talks about a natural gifted player in the post. Talking to Coach Jones before the game, and I asked him, with your background in football, having played at Arizona State, how did that help you as a basketball coach? And he said the biggest thing he can take from football and translate it to basketball is the mental toughness. And that is something he says he's trying to instill on this team, his players, changing the culture, which he has done. He said when he was interviewed for the job, he said, give me 3 years and we'll make the postseason. A man of his word, as they are here, but they are trailing early by 10. Blackman around an Obini screen, and Obini, I believe, called for the illegal screen. Blackman is the leading scorer on the season for West LA. Missed the first 8 games, as we mentioned on the air, because of an ankle injury. Alston sets the ball screen for Jones, a pick and pop game. Hop firing over Blackman. Obini vacuums up the rebound, and here comes Trevante Jones, the sophomore out of Washington, D.C., putting a move on Chris Jones. And a foul on Chris Jones. And that will put Trevante Jones at the line. He also has weathered through an ankle injury this year, a 72% free throw shooter. He's coming off a performance against Canyons, had 16 points, went 5 of 15 from the field, and went 4 for 4 from the free throw line. Blake Seitz is out there, number 24, and Karsten Denherter. And Seitz is a three-point marksman, best three-point percentage on the team, and Alston taking his man on the dribble and scoring at the cylinder. (20-9) is our score. Under 14 minutes to play in this first half, with Blackman trying to make a move into the lane. And a foul on the floor, and that will be number 1 on Karsten Denherter, a freshman out of Scripps Ranch High School. Here is Blackman. Gabe Hubbard has checked in off the bench, his 3rd game off the bench. Coming in for this Wildcats team, Trevante Jones knifing inside and is able to track down his miss. Out to Cadet, who nails the 3, and he is the best outside shooter on this West LA team. Hit 3 threes the other day against Canyon, and Alston a fadeaway, and he finds the bottom there. Trevor Blackman is picked up by Karsten Denherter, out to Cadet. That one won't go, and Hubbard seizes onto the rebound as Trevante Jones is marked by Brown. And then coming over there on the help was Caleb Giordano, and he will take it into the open floor. Checked by Obini, leaving Alston open in rhythm. And Blackman grabs the rebound, and then he takes a spill and is fouled in the process by Alston. I think that is number 2 on Dion Alston. So he comes out. And Vernon Holden seeing the floor for the first time tonight, number 4 for the Jets. Holden did not play a game ago against Miracosta. There is Hubbard against Giordano on the wing. Cadet on a bounce inside for Obini. On his assignment inside is Holden. The hook shot, no. Hubbard with a follow. And Holden grabs the rebound. And they will work it on a 3-on-2. Giordano, count it, and a foul. What a play for Caleb Giordano. And a nice feed by Blake Seitz to set up the sophomore out of Temecula, California, a 73% free throw shooter. And the lead is in double figures. Cory Jackson will come in for Kervin's Cadet. Jackson is the best three-point shooter on the Wildcats at 40%. A check that he is the second best, and he is short on the three ball. Holden picks up the rebound. Brown in transition. That was deflected by Jones. Giordano running into a defender, and inside, Karsten Denherter, who averages about 1 point per game. And West LA has to burn a timeout here with their lead having grown to 15. 27-12 and 11:41 to go in this first half. The 5 out on the floor for West LA. Prince Obini, number 32. Gabe Hubbard, number 24. Trevor Blackman, Cory Jackson, and Trevante Jones. And for the Jets of Miramar, Vernon Holden, number 4, has the defensive assignment on the 6'8" Prince Obini. You've got Dakota Brown out there who will pick up the ball on Jones. Caleb Giordano. Blake Seitz, a three-point marksman as well. And Karsten Denherter, who made a basket about a minute ago on the game clock. 11:25 to go in this first half. Karsten Denherter will bring it up, the freshman from Scripps Ranch High School. On handoff for Brown. Has the ball loose, keeps with it, Holden into Denherter, who cuts baseline, and he's got 4 points. Does Karsten Denherter. Amazing considering he is averaging 1 point per game on the season. Hubbard on a swing for Jackson. Here comes Obini. Double comes on him with Holden and Brown. And a foul underneath. It will go on Vernon Holden. Should be his first. And 2 shots for Prince Obini, who comes in with 9 games this season with at least 10 rebounds. He has a 54% mark from the field and a 53% clip from the stripe. And he comes up empty-handed on both attempts, but Cory Jackson at 5'6" comes down with a rebound. Trevante Jones using a screen set by Hubbard. The floater won't go. And Denherter wrestles down the rebound. Here comes Blake Seitz. He's got room. Obini will secure the loose ball, and a lead pass up to Hubbard, who takes it from Seitz and lays it in. And a feed from Jackson. Denherter driving and kicking and finding Blake Seitz out of Ramon, California, and Ramon High School. Seitz can hit that, and he does. 40% shooter from long range is Blake Seitz. That's the best percentage on the team. And he makes the West LA defense pay. They left him wide open on the wing. Blackman over Denherter. And Giordano running down the rebound on a 1-on-3, driving into Blackman, and a charge is called to the displeasure of Caleb Giordano, who picks up his first with 9:45 to go in this first half. Fresh faces out there for Miramar. Ryan Michaels, the 6'1 freshman out of Encinitas, California, will have the assignment on Cory Jackson. Hubbard will swing to Jones, who was picked up by Brown. On a curl, Blackman went off of his leg, and Jones able to recover. 11 on the shot clock. Jackson firing over Michaels. Off target. Travante Jones was there for a second opportunity. Dallas Hopp has come back in the game and is replaced by Caleb Giordano. Cory Jackson, small, but coach says he makes up for his lack of size with the toughness. A three-point shooter, and so is Blackman on a crossover, driving in on Seitz, out of control. And it's picked up by Caleb Giordano. They rotated back to Brown, and that is Seitz holding the finish. Giordano over his defender in traffic and cleans up the garbage. 20-point lead here for Coach Geller's team, who lost in the first round of the postseason a year ago. And Hubbard will draw contact and a trip to the free throw line. Gabe Hubbard dropped 11 points against Canyons the other day, which was the most he has scored in a game in over a month. Went 4 for 5 from the field. And a look there at Anthony Jones in his third season at the helm here as West LA College at 18-10 overall and 6-4 at home. Brown on a dish for Seitz, takes it inside, in and out, and Obini will clear. Obini at 6'8", the tallest player on the floor for West LA. And Cadet will check in at the next dead ball for West LA. Hubbard swatted by Seitz. And then a second time, but this time Seitz got a piece of Hubbard. And as a result, will put him at the free throw line with 8:06 to go in this first half. And Gabe Hubbard, a 58% free throw shooter, coming off the bench for the third straight game, as Trevor Blackman will get a breather. And Curvin's Cadet will check back in, and Eddie Hughes is out there, number 2, who has not scored in double figures since December 29th, had 12 points against Moore Park. Blake Seitz driving in on Obini. Giordano to Ryan Michaels, muscling inside. A blocking foul. So the shot will count, and an opportunity for a three-point play, as Ryan Michaels found a way to dissect the defense and got Obini to pick up his second personal with just under 8 minutes to play in this first half. Ryan Michaels with 3 points. And he's playing well of late. Had 13 against Miracosta a game ago, which was the most he has scored in a ball game since January 17th when he had 18 against Desert. Hubbard enters it inside for Obini, attacking Seitz and Michaels, and a foul on the Jets, and it will go on Ryan Michaels, putting Prince Obini at the line. Obini had 8 blocks in a game this year against Mount San Antonio, and he had 7 rejections against Long Beach. One thing he's trying to work on is staying out of foul trouble. He has fouled out in 4 games this year, and most recently in their conference championship win against Canyons. Had 7 points, 8 rebounds, ended up fouling out in that game. $7:30 to go in this first half. It's Hubbard on Giordano, and Giordano is unable to score. It's back out, tapped to Ryan Michaels. Now they swing it to Hop, who has checked back into the ball game. Dallas Hop, who averages 11 points per game for this Jets team. One of 5 players who average in double figures scoring, and that skip pass is intercepted. Eddie Hughes, a change of pace, getting a crease and scoring. And Eddie Hughes coming off the bench and making a spark for Coach Jones. And there is Seitz off the dribble, finding a way and a step around Obini. Cory Jackson played on by Dallas Hop. Gets a step on Hop. A lot of contact, but no whistle on that play as Dakota Brown swerves around Obini, who was there standing his ground waiting to draw the charge. But the heads-up play from the sophomore Brown eluding that and scoring and giving his team a 21-point lead, 41-20. Jackson angling his way down the lane, and Dallas Hop with a rebound. And the open floor is Blake Seitz. Pitching it out to Giordano, a 3. And it's a 44-20 lead here. And Coach Jones for West LA has to use a timeout. Dion Alston picked up 2 personals, so he has been kept on the bench. But even without him on the floor, it is a 24-point lead for Miramar. Cadet off a screen set by Hubbard, and he will post up on a back down with 2 Jets converging on him, and then that was Blake Seitz with the send away. Giordano finding an open Michaels. Eddie Hughes in traffic with the rebound, poked from behind by Hops, and it is into the hands of Michaels on a bounce for Brown, who has missed his last 8 attempts from long range. Michaels a try from 3, and Hubbard on the breakaway. The find from Cory Jackson. Both of these teams love to wheel up and down the court at a fast pace. Obini draws the charge. And he is still out there with 2 personals. Karsten Denherter, number 11 for the Jets, will come back in, and Caleb Giordano will take a seat. Jerry Anthony, number 5, in for the first time for the Wildcats. 6'1" sophomore out of Crenshaw. And he is picked up by Denherter, who has 4 points. Cadet around a screen will play to Eddie Hughes. Watched by Brown. With 15 to shoot, Jackson behind the back to Hughes. Zooming down the baseline, gets Seitz into the air, and Seitz, the body control, with a nice shot contest. Brown on the drive, they work it around the horn. There is Hupp, a 3. Dallas Hupp, a 38% three-point shooter, just named a couple days ago conference honorable mention, which he has won or been included in that honor both years, his freshman and sophomore seasons. Cadet had it for a moment, and then it was jarred free, and a loose ball foul going on Karsten Denherter. Miramar in the double bonus, so that will be 2 free throws for Curvin's Cadet, who against Canyons the other day went 2 for 2 from the line. Dropped 13 points off the bench, made 3 threes in that game. And was also named this year conference honorable mention. Chris Jones had it taken away, and here comes West LA, and a foul as Curvin's Cadet will go back to the line. (47-22) is our score. Miramar started the season winning 8 of their first 10 games. They went 22-9 last year and got bounced in the first round of the postseason. They are 19-9 this year and trying to survive past that opening round. Winner of this game plays Citrus, a number 3 seed, on Saturday. Foul on Eddie Hughes. That will be his first. Ryan Michaels will catch the inbounds. Driving and a kick out for Denherter, who gets Cadet flying by, and Denherter makes him pay. A lot of bench scoring for the Jets. They are getting their second unit out there, performing at a high level. Seitz will pick up Hubbard out in front. That is Michaels trying on the front against Cadet in the post. Hubbard inside, and a miss as Hop seizes onto the rebound. Chris Jones rumbling up the floor and is hit mid-flight by Jerry Anthony, which will put Jones at the line. Chris Jones this year named second team all-conference, a native of Augusta, Georgia. He went to Academy of Richmond, which is the same high school as Ken Wisenhunt went to, former Tennessee Titans head coach. Jones is 79% free throw shooter, and Hubbard will run down the rebound with 3:10 to go in this first half. Jackson plays to Anthony. Jones will pick up Anthony out in front. And it's Anthony on a back down against Jones, maximizing that mismatch. And Anthony has 6'1", scoring over the 5'6" Chris Jones. Eddie Hughes on his defensive assignment. And it went off of Jones's foot. Dakota Brown will check back in, number 2 for Miramar. So West LA has Hubbard, Anthony, Hughes, Jackson, and Cadet. Off a curl, Jackson firing and missing. And he runs down his miss. And it was tapped out last on Miramar. 26 on the shot clock, with Miramar leading 50-27. Anthony is marked by Denherter. Hughes on a swing for Jackson. Here comes Anthony around a curl and is blanketed by Denherter. Throws up a wild shot. Nobody boxed out Hughes. And the third time it's Hubbard with the follow. Gabe Hubbard had a 15-point game last month against Santa Monica, and the circus shot won't go for Brown. You can see his athleticism on the handle. Anthony will work it back out high for Cory Jackson. On a give and go for Jackson, it was a sloppy pass. Michaels the other way, and it was nudged out of bounds by Hughes. Ball will stay with the Jets. And there is Coach Geller. Had so much success here with Miramar. Started his coaching career as an assistant at Palomar College. Hughes against Brown. With 17 to shoot, Brown got a step around Hughes, and Hughes commits the foul. That's the quickness of Dakota Brown, who was named the Male Athlete of the Year by the San Diego Union Tribune. Huge honor.
Hey, Gary, it's on.
Was a star football player at Kearney High School, scored 17 touchdowns, and amassed nearly 2,500 all-purpose yards as a football player. And rightly so, was named first team all-conference this year. And was just a 64% free throw shooter. Eddie Hughes into the front court with Cory Jackson. Denherter on Jackson. And they swing it to Anthony, who will launch over Brown. And it's run down by Cadet, keeps the possession alive. 51-29, the Wildcats trail. And Jackson can shoot that three. He's a 40% shooter from long range, and he fires it over Dallas Hupp. Seitz hits a three on the other end. Blake Seitz. Conference honorable mention for Seitz this season, averaging 11 points. And a quick trigger by Jackson, and Brown, the weak side rebound. And he finds Hop into the front court to Ryan Michaels, who was defended by Cadet, takes it inside, back out to Seitz. Another three. He averaged 23 points per game as a high school senior at Ramona. And in an article in the San Diego Union Tribune, his high school coach said Blake is, quote, the best shooter in the county. Rebounded by Seitz. He's got length, 6'4", 10 on the game clock here in the first half. Dakota Brown using a screen set by Seitz. Brown with two to fire, an air ball. And at halftime, the Miramar Jets roaring out to a 58-32 lead with 1 half to play.
Cavs come away with it, and it's Conrad. And a flag flies. Should be man-up opportunity coming up here for Virginia. And they're deadly there. Crowd score! We've got a one-goal game. It's 11-10 with 2:13 to go here in the third.
Yeah, you wonder about the energy level of Cornell, and you wonder if Coach Kerwick wants to take a timeout, kind of let them get a breather, because when you have to play this tempo for 60 minutes, guys are going to start to get tired. You're going to start putting guys in that might not have kind of logged the minutes that you would want them to log before going into a game like this.
Miramar with a commanding 58-32 lead here at halftime. Brian Fenley with you. It is the first round of CCAA playoffs, and the field goal percentage for Miramar, north of 60%. They have made 8 three-pointers in this game, and they also have 14 more points in the paint. Bench scoring in their favor as well, as they are out to a commanding lead. And we talked about it before the game. They are one of the highest scoring teams in their conference, around 86%. Right now they are getting their scoring from their first unit and their second unit, and they're getting running. And Coach Jones for West LA has to find some sort of solution here, as defensively they're giving up a lot of transition buckets. So we'll take a moment here to take a break, but when we come back, we'll break down some more stats and get you set for the second half as we are in the first round of playoffs from Miramar. Brian Fenley with you, and the Jets leading by 26, 58-32 at halftime.
Cavs come away with it, and it's Conrad. And a flag flies. Should be man-up opportunity coming up here for Virginia. And they're deadly there. Crowd score! We've got a one-goal game. It's 11-10 with 2:13 to go here in the third.
Yeah, you wonder about the energy level of Cornell, and you wonder if Coach Kerwick wants to take a timeout, kind of let them get a breather, because when you have to play this tempo for 60 minutes, guys are going to start to get tired. You're going to start putting guys in that might not have kind of logged the minutes that you would want them to log before going into a game like this.
Miramar leading by 26 at halftime as we begin the second half. Miramar up 58-32, and they have shot 8 of 14 from long range, 57%, and from the field as a whole, 63%. And they have 3 players in double figures. Scoring, Blake Seitz has 11 on 3 3-pointers, and 4 of 7 from the field. Also, Dion Alston has 10 points, despite the fact he picked up 2 quick fouls in that first half. And Caleb Giordano, the high man, pacing Miramar with 12 points. And the highest scorer for West LA is Gabe Humbert off the bench. Played 15 minutes and has 9 points and 6 rebounds. So it will be Kerwin's Cadets, Trevante Jones, Trevor Blackman, Jamon Ballard, and Prince Obini. They tried to set up the alley-oop play, and it was sniffed out well defensively. Brown to Alston, just befuddling the West LA defense in transition. Brown leading the Jets in assists on the season as Obini sets the ball screen. Hop fighting through that screen. Back tapped out to Giordano. Caleb Giordano setting up Jones, finding Alston roaming down the lane, and he feeds the big man. Alston with 14 points in this game. 1 point north of his season average at 13 points per game. Obini whipping it to Jones against Jones. Chris Jones playing defense on Trevante Jones. Alston on a 3-on-2 give and go, and a miss by Alston, but he wrestles down the rebound, and it's Ballard getting his hands in there to force the held ball, but it will stay with the Jets by virtue of the alternating possession rule. Dallas Hop, Chris Jones, Dion Alston, Dakota Brown, and Caleb Giordano in there, and Giordano an open look. Blackman tardy on the closeout, and Giordano puts in the 3. That is his 4th 3-pointer of the game. Jones will get the offense rolling here with Obini working it to Blackman, who averages 16 points per game for this West LA team. Cadet wheeling down the lane, and it's an offensive foul. Number 2 on Kerwin's Cadet. And West LA showing a little bit of pressure in the backcourt, trying to mix things up here and catch the Jets off guard. Giordano over Obini, 1-on-1 in the post. And Giordano making the most of that matchup. Blackman is marked by Hop on a swing for 3, and the shot is missed, but rebounded by Ballard. And Hop will run it down. 2 minutes have passed in this second half. The Jets lead 67-32. Alston off target. Hop is there for the offensive rebound. Shot clock resets. Alston now to Giordano, who drives around Obini and is fouled while airborne by Jamon Ballard. And that is the second team foul of the period, and the 3rd personal on Jamon Ballard, putting Giordano at the line. Giordano had 13 points a game ago against Miracosta. Dropped 14 against San Bernardino Valley 2 games ago. Can really shoot it. Made 3 threes in another game, and that one was against Grossmont, as Obini will come out, and Hubbard comes in for him. Trevor Blackman will bring it up the floor. Had 26 points, 9 rebounds 2 games ago. Just missed on a double-double. He drifts inside and he can't finish. Chris Jones upstairs. Giordano can't complete the slam. West LA has numbers. Hubbard to the rack. No. And out of bounds because Brown caught the ricochet while he was on the baseline. Frenetic pace here for both teams. Miramar leading 69-32. They were looking for the lob, but no one was on the receiving end. Brown on a swing for Hop to Giordano, who has made 4 threes in this game and is coming in just a 28% shooter from long range. On a switch, he's picked up by Hubbard. Back to Alston. Hubbard on him defensively, raising up overall. Hubbard, and a rebound by Ballard. Up ahead to Hubbard, and he gets mauled inside by Alston, and that will be his 3rd personal. 3rd on Alston with 16:38 remaining in this second half. Cory Jackson will come back in. Jackson 2nd on his team in 3-point field goal percentage and 2nd on his club in scoring. Cadet had it taken away by Brown. Trailed by Cadet, and Brown soars in for the transition basket. Dakota Brown, who averages 2 steals per game, with a nice swipe there on the other end. And there was Jackson. A stop-and-go dribble and finds a seam. Cory Jackson, a 44% field goal shooter, as Chris Jones is fouled by Trevante Jones. Same last name, same number, and almost the same size. And that is the first on Trevante Jones. Chris Jones handling, 2nd team all-conference, using an Alston screen, who was out there with 3 personals, and Giordano connecting on his 5th three-pointer. Jackson over Hop. Alston the rebound. He wants to run. The footwork, the jump stop, and the turnaround over Cadets. Alston showing the versatility. Cory Jackson will get the offense going. He floats it into Hubbard. Giordano flew by, and still a miss by Hubbard, but he gets it back and scores off the miss. Brown racing into the front court. Is checked by Kerwin's Cadets. Driving in on Cadet, lost the handle, and it is scooped up by Trevante Jones as he is tripped from behind by Dakota Brown. Shot clock will reset, and in for the first time in the second half is Vernon Holden, number 4, and that will give Dion Alston a breather. Cadet and Jones and Jackson manning the back line for West LA on the floor right now. You've got Hubbard in there at a post position. Chris Jones will come out. He has 3 personals. Karsten Denherter, a spark plug offensively in that first half. Had a couple baskets, surpassing his season average. And now he's trying to blanket the defensive Jones. His little push shot won't go, but a tip will. Giordano swallowed up defensively by Hubbard, and he still finds a way to score. Giordano having a spectacular game and is really playing well of late. Jones unable to score on the lunging attempt, and Hop The sophomore out of St. Augustine with the rebound. Giordano has a double team. Brown, the no-look into Holden, who reverses it in. Nice feed for Brown, who leads his team on the season in assists at 4 dimes per game. A missed 3 from Kerwin's Cadet, who shoots it from long range at 42% on the season, which is best on his team. Blake Seitz will check in at the next stoppage of play. Averaged 11 points, the 6'4 freshman, a marksman, really a great outside shooter. Giordano, nowhere to go against Cadet. Holden, not there on the jump shot. Rebounded by Hubbard and out in front. And mishandled as Ballard was trying for West LA to capitalize on a fast break opportunity. Denherter will come out, and Blake Seitz. Blake Seitz will check back in, number 24. Tapped by Hopp, but recovered by Jackson. He knifes through 3 Jets players, slaloming in there, and manages to score. And a foul on Cadet, bumping into Giordano with 13:20 to go in this second half. And Cadet has collected his 3rd personal, but Coach Jones elects to keep him out there. Dion Alston, number 15 for the Jets, is sitting with 3 personals. Ryan Michaels is checked by Eddie Hughes, number 2, who has just checked back into the ball game. Cadet picking up the ball in Brown. On a handoff, and rumbling down the lane is Holden. Vernon Holden, accelerating almost uncontested. And the big man able to score. Jackson driving and kicking. Cadet fills it up from long range. Ryan Michaels will navigate across the timeline. Picked up by Hughes. On a bounce for Holden, who was against Hubbard, and as Holden was looking to pass to a teammate, he shuffled the feet and is whistled for a travel. West LA has Hughes out there along with Jackson, who hits the 3 and gets fouled. Dakota Brown committing that foul, and a potential 4-point play for Cory Jackson, who made 6 3-pointers the other day against Canyons. And versus Bakersfield earlier in the month, made 7 threes, finished with 23 points. Giordano is back out there. Holden, Michaels, Seitz, and Brown, the 5 on the floor for Miramar. They swing it to Michaels, driving on Jackson. Lost it. Jackson diving on it, sprawling for it, bodies all over the floor. And the call will be a foul on the Jets. It will go on Ryan Michaels, his 2nd. And the Jets lead 82-47 with 12:11 remaining in this second half. Kerwin's Cadet had 20 points against Chafee, had a season high of 21 against L.A. Pierce, made 5 threes. And there is Jackson, so creative in creating his own shot. Brown had it poked from behind by Eddie Hughes. As we are inside 12 minutes, second half. And they floated into Holden on a handoff for Brown and a reach-in call on Kerwin's Cadet. He can't believe the foul. And that is number 4 on Cadet, the team's best 3-point threat at 42% on the season. And Cadet will pick up Brown, the sophomore from Kearney High School. And on the pass off, that is number 5 on Kerwin's Cadet. So his night is done. Dion Alston will check in for the Jets momentarily. And coming out is Caleb Giordano. And back in for the Wildcats is Jerry Anthony, the 6'1 sophomore. Sights against Jackson. Double comes on him. They reverse the ball open to Brown. Hubbard climbing the ladder and gathers the rebound. As Jackson prancing into the front court, sets up Anthony, who is checked by Holden. Jackson over Michaels. Back tapped to Eddie Hughes, who averages 6 points per game. And there was Jackson driving in on Michaels. Hughes getting a step on sight. Count it. And a foul. Eddie Hughes driving in on the big men inside. Counts the basket and has a chance at a three-point play. Eddie Hughes got out to a great start to the season. Had 15 against Desert. 15 points, and then had 13 points the second game of the year against Copper Mountain. Brown finding Alston, driving, and a send-out to Sights. Sights with a miss. And Jackson will survey. Driving around Brown, finding an open teammate in Ballard, who wraps one home. And a little bit of a run here for the Wildcats, showing some life. And a timeout on the floor with West LA trailing 82-53. We will stay here because it is just a 30-second timeout. And Cadet has fouled out for West LA. We take a look at some of the numbers here. West LA shooting it better in the second half, 41% from the field compared to the first half when they shot 26%. Miramar, after connecting on 8 threes in that first half, only 2 in this second period. West LA has not led since there was 19:22 to go in the first half. And at that point, they were in front by 3. Now, they trail by 29. And as we approach the 10-minute mark of this second half, Brown ignores the Holden screen, and his shot was contested, and a stop for West LA. They skip it to Anthony, who short arms the 3. And a foul, a loose ball foul on West LA. It will go on Ballard. Jamon Ballard picking up the personal. And that is his 4th. So you already have Curvin's Cadet fouled out. And now Ballard has 4, and Ryan Michaels will be at the line. Had an 18-point game earlier this season against Desert. On the season is a 77% free throw shooter, as Blake Sights will get a breather. Karsten Denherter is back out on the floor. So is Chris Jones, as Ryan Michaels will exit. West LA has 2 players in double figure scoring. Cory Jackson, who has the ball, has 13 points. As he pierces his way inside, Ballard throws up a wild shot. And the Jets on the breakaway, and Holden with the throwdown. Vernon Holden coming off the bench, making a spark. Eddie Hughes had that shot partially deflected by Dallas Hop, the sophomore out of St. Augustine. Jones setting up Hop for 3. Hubbard coming down with the rebound, and here comes Cory Jackson. Picked up by Denherter. Anthony barging down the lane. Chris Jones on the defensive assignment there, and he does a good job. Dakota Brown rifling a pass to Holden. It goes behind the back to Hop. They had 30 assists a game ago, and they're showing off their precise passing on that sequence. With a nice bucket by Holden. Holden guarding Hubbard in the post, trying to spin around him. West LA maintains possession. Blake Seitz back in, relieving Vernon Holden, number 4. And the first time we're seeing Samuel Adji, number 23 for West LA. Hubbard in traffic under duress, and he can't put it in from point-blank range. And Adji will pick up the ball in Brown. Floats a pass to Seitz on a bounce for Hop. Had it poked away by Hubbard. Brown one-on-one with Adji. And the rebound to Hubbard. Here comes Cory Jackson, plowing his way through the key, and is called for a travel. Brown comes out. Giordano comes back in. Coach Jones on the sideline telling his team, look, there is a lot of time on the clock. We got to keep fighting. Keep bringing that effort. Giordano picks up the dribble. He is picked up by Jackson. Chris Jones now trying to make a move on Anthony. Denherter the ball fake on a skip for Seitz. Finding Giordano, swerving around his defender. And Hubbard pulls down the rebound. Hughes accelerating past Giordano, and Giordano picks up the foul. Eddie Hughes, who makes his way back to the line, a 61% free throw shooter. West LA on the season as a team, they shoot it 65% from the stripe. And they are the only team in their conference to have 3 players named to first team all conference in Cory Jackson, who is taking that 3. Trevor Blackman also, and Trevante Jones, all named first team all conference this year. Foul on Hubbard, and that will be number 1 for Hubbard. Chris Jones returns to the line with Trevor Blackman checking back in and replacing Gabe Hubbard. Chris Jones had a 25-point game against Southwestern earlier this year. Went 10 for 13 from the field, made 4 threes in that game. And he was named to the all-conference second team here as a sophomore. And as a freshman, he was honorable mention all-conference. And he entered that trip to the line, making 13 out of his last 14 free throw attempts. Jackson is off the mark on the 3, but Anthony the rebound. Blackman the triple. And a timeout issued by West LA with 7:26 to go in this game. Excuse me? Dallasop plays to Chris Jones, who comes in having scored in double figures in 6 out of the last 7 games. Blake Seitz on the handle, the freshman on a handoff for Giordano, who was mauled by Trevor Blackman. And a foul going on Blackman, his first. And a 1-and-1 situation for the Jets, and Giordano at the line. The Temecula native misses on the front end. Anthony the rebound, and he will take it all the way. Rejected by Giordano. Coach Geller making changes, with Denherter coming out and Wyatt Babiak making his first appearance, the Alaska native. Anthony recovers on the loose ball. (89-57). Jets leading. Jackson off a screen, he hits it over Babiak. Cory Jackson, one of 2 West LA players in double figure scoring. Hop zips it to Babiak. Jones gets a step around Hughes and is short on the jump shot. Eddie Hughes driving in on Babiak. And a foul on Babiak. That is his first, putting Eddie Jones at the line with 6:35 in this second half. Eddie Hughes, I should say. And Eddie Hughes is a 61% free throw shooter. Dion Alston coming back in and giving Blake Seitz a breather. West LA, a 19th seed in this postseason. Jackson astray. And coming out of the back with it is Giordano for the rebound. Chris Jones, the sophomore at 5'6", driving on Jackson. And a blocking foul is called on Cory Jackson, as Chris Jones juked around Jackson, and that will be number 1 on Cory Jackson. And now West LA in the double bonus, so 2 free throws for Chris Jones, who has the best free throw percentage on his team at 79%. Had a 4 three-pointer performance against Antelope Valley this year. Had 4 threes against Desert. And the Jets will burn a timeout with a commanding lead, 91-59, and 6 minutes and change to go in this second half. Anthony Hughes, Blackman. Also out there is Jackson and Adjei. Foul on Babiak, number 2. 1-1 for Samuel Adjei. He missed the last 6 games coming into this one, but seeing some playing time, and then Hughes had it, and then Adjei had it. Hop and gathering it and taking it the distance. Dallas Hop. And a foul on Cory Jackson. His second, putting Chris Jones back at the line. Jones the other day had 17 against Miracosta. Went 2 for 2 from the line. Connected on 3 threes. Jones now with 10 points in this game. Has 4 assists, 3 rebounds, and a steal. And Miramar has shot 9 for 11 from the free throw line in the second half. Blackman unloading on a 3. Trevor Blackman, sophomore out of Florida. Chris Jones. His floater won't go. And Blackman the rebound. And he attacks Giordano and scores, going right into Giordano. 5:26 on the second half clock. Dakota Brown back in. Brown has 9 points. He needs 1 more point to record his 20th game in double figures scoring. A steal on the inbounds. Blackman, the trigger, runs down his miss as Hop is pushed to the floor, and he will pick up the foul, putting Blackman at the line. Trevor Blackman, who had a 37-point game in a losing effort to Citrus earlier this year, went 8 for 11 from the line, 13 for 18 from the stripe, and was 1 rebound away from a double-double 2 games ago against LA Valley at 26 points, 9 rebounds. Blake Seitz is back in, number 24 for the Jets. Austin to Seitz. Upstairs, Giordano, and he could not reel that one in for the slam. Jackson in the front court. Blackman using an Adjei screen and then pulls up and misfires. Brown to Alston. .30-point game here from Miramar as Hughes tees up the 3. Hop the rebound. And Hop, earlier this month, nearly a triple-double. Was 2 assists away from a triple-double, and there he is with a basket and a foul. Dallas Hop, a 78% free throw shooter, has nearly 5,000 followers on Instagram. And when he's not playing basketball, he's into modeling, has worked with some agencies, has developed quite the following. Was a volleyball player in high school, also on the track and field team. As Anthony comes out. Trevante Jones will bring it up. This is Jackson against Brown. Jones gathering it on the weak side. And he will post up on Chris Jones using the window. And Trevante Jones has 6 points. Has gone just 2 of 8 shooting from the field. Sights to Hop, who gets a move on Adji. And they work it up top for Alston. Driving out and kicking to Hop. Alston setting his feet. And Jones vacuums in the rebound, finds Jackson on the wing. Hop flies by, and then Jackson drains the 3. Timeout called by West LA. Trailing by 28, and 3:48 left on the second half clock. Winner of this game will take on Citrus, the 3 seed. And that game will be on Saturday at Citrus. West LA lost to Citrus earlier this year. Trevor Blackman had 37 points in that loss. Had 25 in his season debut after missing the first 8 games because of an ankle injury. Trevante Jones has also been battling through an ankle injury. He is back out there and having a tough night shooting, but really a good player for Coach Jones. Blackman around the screen, Hop the body check. And Blackman will go to the line. 6'5" sophomore. Coach Jones talking about Blackman as one of those kind of positionless players. He can handle the point. He can go with the off-guard role. Can even play it at the 3, a small forward position. Has an offer from Livingston College, a Division II school in North Carolina. And they've had UTEP at practice watching him. Texas A&M, Corpus Christi, Grambling State all have come to watch Trevor Blackman, who averages 16 a game and leads his club in scoring. He was trying to thunder one home, but Brown was there to rebuke it. But he also got a piece of the body of Blackman, according to the officials. Not sure about that, but nevertheless, it will put Blackman at the line. 71% free throw shooter on the season. Blackman has 13 points in this game. He's coming off 7 points against Canyons, which was his lowest scoring output in over a month. Hop with Adji and Blackman on him in the backcourt. They float it to Brown. Here comes Michaels. Ryan Michaels gets another field goal. Adji chucking one up and gets the roll. Dallas Hop will float it to Michaels. Picked up by Jacob Stone. They find an open Sights. Sights missing on the 3. Adji on a 3-on-2. Picked up by Brown and then spins and contorts his body around Michaels for the deuce. And Brown will come out of the pack with it. Snap a pass to Michael with under 3 minutes to go in this second half. Dallas Hop attacking Stone on the dribble. And a foul on Stone. Jacob Stone, his first, putting Dallas Hop at the line. Last summer, Hop got to work with Mo Harkless, an NBA guy. Hop said that really helped develop his game, getting to get in some workouts with an NBA guy. Hop won a state championship in high school in basketball, won 2 CIF championships in volleyball, and was all-league in track and field. Blackman penetrating, Hop pulling down the rebound. Alston will find Michaels, who will retreat out beyond the arc. Seitz takes it inside, open Denherter. Trevante Jones picked up by Seitz, lunging in, following up his shot in traffic, finds Adji, and Denherter will wrangle down the rebound as Michaels was fouled by Jackson in the backcourt. 152 I should say, to play in this second half. With Ryan Michaels at the line, a freshman out of Encinitas. Played his high school ball at Canyon Crest Academy. And while there, was all-conference in 2 different seasons. As Blackman will come out. Anthony is back in number 5. Anthony taking Denherter on the dribble, whipping a pass inside. And a bucket is good by Obi. Tubena Obi coming on. Dion Alston will hit the bench. Gabe Hubbard will check in at the next stoppage of play, rebounded by Hop. Finding Denherter, checked by Stone and Anthony in the backcourt, and they just get it over in time. Babiak will find Denherter. 13 on the shot clock. Hop driving and pitching out for Ryan Michaels. And Jay all over him defensively. Seitz on a back down on the spin. He botched it. And then Denherter intercepts the pass. He has a 3-on-1. And Hop and Seitz now will, well, I thought they were going to milk the clock. And then Seitz says, hey, I want more points, but it goes off of his leg and out of play as Hubbard re-enters the game and Cory Jackson will come out. 58.1 seconds, second half. And a big bear hug there between Jones and Jackson. All that they've been able to accomplish this year, but unfortunately will not get to see the next day in the tournament as Seitz comes up with a rebound, floating it up for Hop. The Jets scored 115 points the other day. They are again north of 100 in this one. We talked about their offensive surge. They're one of the best scoring teams in the land as Bambion contributes to the stat sheet, has a basket there. Hubbard, the acrobatic finish. And Hop and the Jets. And Miramar will advance and knock off West LA. So the 14th seed takes down the number 19 seed. And Miramar will continue their season on Saturday when they visit number 3 Citrus. So many star players to commend in this game for both teams. But for West LA, their season is done at 18-11 on the year. And Miramar ups their record to 20-9. Caleb Giordano facing Miramar with 24 points. Deion Alston had 18 points despite fouling out. 11 from Chris Jones and 11 from Blake Seitz. And Cory Jackson leading the way on offense for West LA at 19 points. And Trevor Blackman, the only other player for the Wildcats in double-figure scoring, had 16. And when you look at a stat that stands out, field goal percentage, 57% for Miramar on the game and 31% for West LA. And we will have a discussion with the coach, the winning coach, in Nick Geller, right after this.
Cavs come away with it, and it's Conrad. And a flag flies. Should be man-up opportunity coming up here for Virginia. And they're deadly there. Crouch score! We've got a one-goal game. It's 11-10 with 2:13 to go here in the third.
Yeah, you wonder about the energy level of Cornell. You wonder if Coach Kerwick wants to take a timeout, kind of let them get a breather, because when you have to play this tempo for 60 minutes, guys are going to start to get tired. You're going to start putting guys in that might not have kind of logged the minutes that you would want them to log before going into a game like this.
Miramar winning their first round matchup against West LA, and we are joined by their head coach in Nick Geller. And you were in this position last year, but you fell in the first round. This time around, you talked about the experience, how that would help you advance. What was the difference down the stretch for this game?
Well, we definitely shot the ball really well in the first half. There's no doubt about that. West LA is a very good team, and they played extremely well. We were fortunate enough tonight to shoot the ball really well. And in the second half, as I expected, we wouldn't shoot it quite as well, and we didn't. And West LA came out. They played very hard as they did in the first half. But we managed to build a pretty big lead in the first half based around our offense, and that was something that really changed the course of the game early on, and I felt like it carried us through in the second half.
You shot 57% from the field as a team throughout this game, and you held West LA to about 31% from the field. What were you doing defensively to hamper them as far as getting easy looks?
Well, I think we were pretty well prepared. We managed to watch them and see what their offense was and see who their key players were, and I felt like we were really, really prepared for them. Again, they're very good, they're well coached, and they do a great job, and I just felt like that we had the opportunities with our offensive effort tonight to shoot the ball well, but defensively we were just well prepared, and our guys did a good job.
And now you take your talents to Citrus, and you take on them on Saturday on the road. They are the number 3 seed in your side of the division. Early impressions of what it's going to take for you guys to come away with a win?
Well, it will be a completely different ball game. Citrus is an extremely talented team. They're very well coached as well, and we have to be ready. There's no question about it. They're very, very good, and they deserve a 3 seed. And it will definitely be a different game. It'll be a different game of matchups, but we'll be well prepared, and hopefully we can give them a good game.
Nick, we appreciate your time.
Great, thank you very much.
Nick Geller and Miramar winning 107-84 and advancing into the second round of the postseason.
Cavs come away with it, and it's Conrad. And a flag flies. Should be man-up opportunity coming up here for Virginia. And they're deadly there. Crowd score! We've got a one-goal game. It's 11-10 with 2:13 to go here in the third.
Yeah, you wonder about the energy level of Cornell, and you wonder if Coach Kerwick wants to take a timeout, kind of let them get a breather, because when you have to play this tempo for 60 minutes, guys are going to start to get tired. You're going to start putting guys in that might not have kind of logged the minutes that you would want them to log before going into a game like this.
Miramar taking down West LA in the first round of the postseason tonight, 107-84. Brian Fenley with you. And for the Jets, they shot 58% from the field throughout this game. They made 10 three-pointers and shot from distance 50%. Now, the Wildcats made 9 threes, but they shot a lot more from long range and ended up about 30% from three-point territory. And the difference as well was in the free throw shooting. The Jets, 80%. They did not miss from the line very often, and they used a fast-paced offense to really build up their lead in transition opportunities. And now Coach Geller and the fellas will take on Citrus, the number 3 team in the division, in the second round of the postseason. So that game is on Saturday. And Miramar, though, advancing past the first round, which they did not do last year, but doing it this year after a 107-84 win at home against West LA. For all of us helping out with the broadcast, from the technical crew to the director and the stats, I am Brian Fenley saying goodnight from Miramar as the Jets win it tonight by 23 against West LA.